surprised my much. I know very well the addiction to the great planet such as the Earth, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, to which we have given names. There are also hundreds of other, some of which are are so small that one has aren't seen them through the telescope. When a strong discover one that is he does not give in the name but on number he may call it, for example, asteroid 125. I have serious reason to believe that the planet for which the little prince comes is the asteroid Snow as B 612. This asteroid has only an advancing through the telescope that was by Turkish astronaut in 1909.
Yeah. On making his discovery, the astronomer had presented it to International Astronomical Congress in a great demonstration, but he was Turkish costume, and so nobody would believe what he said. Grow up are like that. Fortunately, however, for the reputation of asteroid B612, a Turkish dictator made a law that his subject obtained pay of death should change an European custom. So in 1920, the astronomer gave his demonstration all over again, dressed with impressive style and elegance, and this time everybody accepted this report.
If I have told you details about the asteroid and made a note of its number for you, it is on account of the grown-ups and their why when you tell them that you have made a note, friends, they never ask you any question about essential matters. They never say to you, what does his voice sound like? What games does he love best? Does he call Butterfield? Instead, they demand how old is Bill, how many brothers has he, how much does he weigh, how much money does his father make. Only from their figures do they think they have learned anything about.
Bye.
Where to say to grown-ups, I saw beautiful house made of rosy brick with kerosene in the windows and doors of roof. They will be not able to get an idea and how so all you will have to say them a house that costs 20,000 dollars. Then will exclaim, "Oh, what the pretty house that is!" You so made when the poor princess existed that was charming that he loved and he was looking for a sheep and then there's a sheep that proved that we exist and what would be do to tell them that and will strong their shoulders and treat you like a shield, but if you say them the planet came from asteroid B 60,012, then will be convincing and live in the place from their questions.
You might say to him, the proof that the light principle exists is that he was charming that he loved and that he was looking for asleep. If that Nally body wants a ship, that is a proof that he exists. And what would it do to they him that they would strong they shoulder and treat you like a children both if you say to him the planet he came from is asteroid 612. They hay out the compensations and left you in space from hey question.
The they are like that one must not hold it against them. Children should always to read forward rants toward grown-up people, but grandly for us who do wonders life figure are a matter of indifference. I should have liked to bring this store in the fashion of the very latest. I should have liked to say one up a time there was a it princess who lived on a planet that was scarcely any big that ants and who had need of a
Those will understand life, that will have greater air of truth to my story. For I do not want anyone to read my book carelessly. I have suffered too much grief in setting down these memories. 6 years have already passed since my friend went away from me with his ship. If I read the script, I'm here. Kind. It is to make sure that I shall not forget him. To forget a friend is sad, not very every one has had a friend, and I've forget him. I may become like the grown-ups who are no longer interested in anything but figures.
It is for that purpose again that I have bought a box of blank paints. Some pencils it's hard to take up drawing again at my age when I never made any picture except those the boa constriction from the outside and the boa constriction from the inside side. I was 6. I shall certainly try to make my portraits as true to life possible, but I'm not all sure of success. One drawing along all right, and another has not resembled to his subject. I have some errors in the little Princess Hay. In one place he's too tall and in another too short, and I feel some doubts about color of his costume.
So I fumble along as best I can know, go no day, and I hope Henry fire to meeting in certain more important details a size market mistakes also but they is summoned. They will not. The me fault, my friends never explain anything to me. Him drunk, perhaps they have like himself, but in Alon's do not know how to see sheep drunk the wise of box per paragraph, and I am little like the grown ups I have and to grow old.
As share day passing, I will hear an hour talking something about the Little Princess planet. Is a report from it is January. The information go to comment very slow as it many change to fall from its somewhere and I was to this way in here and I 3 day about to custom custom for of the bombs. This time one more I had to sleep to thank you for it. For later princess asking me upfront, I feel Season be grading is true is the later poses.
Yes, that is true. I am glad I did not understand why it was so important. That chip show at it little bushes. But the little prince at that 10 in follow they that they also eat bubbles. I pointed out to the little prince that bobats were not little bushes but on of the contrary trees as big as castles, and that even if he took a whole herd of elephants away with him, the herd would not eat up one single bubble. The idea of the herd of elephants made the little prince laugh. We will have to put them one on the top of the other, he said. But he made a wise comment. Before they grow so big, the baobabs, ¿cómo se dice? Start by being little. And that is strictly correct. I said, but why do you want to sheep to eat the little baobs? He answered me at once. Oh, come on. He were speaking of something that was self-evident, and I obligate to make a great mental effort to solve this problem without any assistance.
Let us as he learned terrain warren on the planet where the little prince lived as on. Perdón, es que
Okay, don't worry.
where the little prince lived as on a planet God plant, and that plant in cons- consequence terrain word set from God plant and and that that said from that planet but set are invisible and they sleep deep in the heart of the art is darkest until from on above is said with the desire to walk then this little said we set such itself we straight set with touch himself and David ti- timidly at first to push a sharping little spring in for severely upward toward the sun if it is annually a, a, a sprout of radish or the sprig of a rose bush on wood let in round wherever it is with whistling, but when it is at that planet on must destroy it as soon as possible. The very the very first instant that recognizes it.
Now there were some terrible seeds on the planet that was the home of the little prince, and these were the seeds of the baobab. The soil of the planet was infested with them. A baobab is something you will never be able to get rid of if you want to let it spreads over the entire planet. It works clean it with its and if the planet is too small and the bubbles are too many, they split in spices.
It's a question of discipline, the little prince said to me later on. When you have finished your own toilet in the morning, then it is time to attend to the toilet of your planet. Just so with the greatest care. You must see to it that you pull up regularly all the baobabs at, at the very first moment when they can be distinguished from the rose bushes, which they resemble so closely in their early young. It is very tedious work, the little prince, but very easy.
And one day he said to me, you ought to make a beautiful drawing so that the children where you live can see exactly to who all this is that would be very useful to them if they were to travel someday. Scientifically, he added, there is no harm in putting off a piece of work until another day, but there is a matter of Boab that always means a catastrophe. I count a planet that has inhabited be a list man he neglected the little bush.
So as the little princess described it to me, I have made a drawing of that palette. I do not ma much like to take the tone of a moralist, but the danger of the bobs is so little underthought and such considerable risk will be run by anyone who might get lost on a asteroid that first one. I am breaking through myself. Children, I say plainly, watch out for the wolves.
Thank you. Sebastian, please.
My friends like myself have been experiencing danger for a long time. It took every to know it and to difficulties that I have working to our overseas training. The, le- the lesson with he passed on my testament is work and he told it asked me. The reality is simple, a bite treat, but with others I have not been successful when I made that dream of the boats. I was carried beyond myself by the inspiring force of urgent necessity of little principle, but by became to understand the secrets of your little by little life for a long time. You you had found your only entertainment in the kid plus the pleasure of looking at the sunset. I learned that new detail on the morning of the fourth day when you say to me, I'm very full of something. Come, let's let's go look at a sunset now. But we must wait a say. Wait for what? For the soonest we must wait until it is time.